Back, my dear students. So what I want to do is I want to replace this static data with maybe some API data. Okay, so we need to actually look for that API. I believe, and I don't know if they're still working. I mean, you know, after a while, these websites will be replaced. So look for maybe just to be safe, you know, API dev data or something like that, or HTTP like that. Okay, and in that way you can find some places where you can test your HTTP request. So we're gonna be replacing our static data with some dynamic data, okay, with some data from an API. And you can also look for fake online REST API for developers. Look for that search term on Google and you can find something else if JSON placeholder is not available. Okay, this is the website and we want to make a request to this API right here to get all this data. Okay, as you can see, this has a user ID, title, and body. So let's make sure that our table has that. User ID, and I copy that. And I think it has title and body. And what I'm going to do with this data here, I'm going to leave that as an empty array. I wanted to show you how to do it statically just in case you guys are not able to connect to this API. We're going to be using a HTTP, which is going to be awesome, okay, for you guys to learn this extra stuff. I'm just adding things to this course so that way you guys can learn more about Vue.js. Remember, this is a crash course. This is not a complete course. So I don't want to see a bad review saying that I didn't include something here and you're upset. This is a crash course. You're supposed to show you the main components of Vue.js. I think we already did that. I'm just creating extra things here for you, okay? So be appreciative, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a HTTP request, but before we do that, we need to download some type of package to do that because we don't have that. So I'm going to do npm, I'm going to download Axios right here, this package, npm. Okay, this is an HTTP client, promise based, so you can use promises, which is really awesome. Okay, so npm install Axios, and it's super easy to use. Okay, let's download it. Keep in mind that my speed is like 150 megabytes per second in this office here that I'm using. My house is 1,000, so if it takes a while for you, don't worry. Or maybe you guys have a faster speed than me. So what I'm going to do after my data function here, I'm going to attach this created, lifecycle console.log. Remember about the life cycles of Vue.js. So Vue.js, just in case you guys, lifecycle. This is a lifecycle. I think this is just some type of forum here. But anyway, these are lifecycle hooks. It's somewhere in here. Okay, you can find it. I'm pretty sure the documentation has it somewhere. Lifecycle diagram right here. Okay. Before created, you can hook into this to do different things. Before mount it. So in this created lifecycle, let's see if I can hook into that. npm run dev to run my server. Okay. Let's go back here. And it's saying it is connected. You can see that it is connecting here. All right. So we are connected to that life cycle. And so once our component is created and everything is going, we're going to make a Axios. Actually, we need to import Axios to make sure that it works. So right here, this is going to be a new thing for you. we're gonna import Axios from the no modules folder. Remember that when you do it like this, with no dot / right here like this, you are importing from the no modules folder without the, when you do this, it means that you are importing from your local directory somewhere. Okay, keep that in mind. So we are importing Axios. Now we can use it. Let's do Axios, and it's a get that we're doing because we want some data. And now we need to put the address as the first parameter. And let's get the address of that data. I'm going to get the address right there on the URL. I'm going to put some quotes here to put it in strings. Then we're going to get a promise, right? Then, and it's going to be post. Like this. I'm using ES6 syntax here. Okay. This can also be a function. You can also do it like this, just in case you see it somewhere. Okay. Or like this. I'm using ES6. We are returning just one value from there. We're just going to do that. And then I'm going to assign this to my post array. And what I want to assign is the post.data. That's the object that I want. You can also always do a console.log on what you're getting here. You can do a console.log here and see where you have to pull the data from. I know that I'm pulling the data from this data property here, or object, I believe. Okay. That data array, or I think it's an array. It's this big guy right here. But anyway, let's see if that's working already. Refresh. All right, it's not working because post is not defined. I misspelled this somewhere. It says post right here. All right, now let's go ahead and there we go. Beautiful, guys. Now we're getting data from an API, which is really awesome, right? Look at that. You guys did not think that I was gonna show you how to do this, right? In this lecture here, in this course. Even though this is a crash course, I'm including a lot of stuff here for you guys. I want to include the user ID here because we're missing that. User ID. I think, there we go. And I think it's the ID and then the user ID. The ID, user ID, title, and body. And it has an extra. There we go. There we go. That looks a lot better here. Nice, 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 nice. Let's work on the navigation. Let me show you how you guys can do that as well. We're not going to go through all the rest of the Vue.js stuff because it's a lot. This is a crash course, but it's a lot of other things that you guys can learn about Vue.js. I'm showing you the main components. Like I said before, this is just a crash course, so to get you going with Vue.js. See you in the next lecture.